How's it go? You mess around and sometimes you find out. Well, second half, the 49ers messed around and they found out. A come-from-behind victory sealed with a pick. Second interception of the half thrown by Brock Purdy. Kaiser Wright coming up with the either tipped ball or affected by the rush. Either way, ball game is Kyler would kneel on it and send the Arizona Cardinals home victorious. You know, San Francisco had rattled off 4 straight wins over Arizona, all coming by 16 or more points. Well, found themselves in a close battle here, and they find themselves sub 500 on the season. Joe Musso in studio alongside the 2-time champ Bryant McFadden. B-Mac, this was an interesting game because it had all the makings in the middle of it of a San Francisco team, like ones in the past, that put their foot down, nail in the coffin, walk away with a double-digit victory. They had that opportunity in front of them. They not only squandered that, but then allowed defensively for Arizona to work right back into this ball game. Where was the fatal flaw on this Sunday?
They played with their food. They played around with a team that was thriving at the right moment, in the right moments of this ball game, and they allow the Arizona Cardinals to gain confidence, and then the execution followed the confidence. So when you look at this ball game, right, San Francisco got off to a really, really good start. Now, in the midst of that nice start, they lost their place kicker. So field goals were going to be optional, to say the least. And you understood that knowing what was at stake moving forward. They go into halftime. The score was 23-10. 23-10. At that point, your offense was rolling, more so about the ground game. When you look at the final box score, San Francisco led for at least the majority of this ball game till the tail end. Brock Purdy had 35 passing attempts. Why? When you're running back and Jordan Mason averaged over 6 yards per carry, he only had 14 attempts. Kyler Murray, the quarterback that was behind the whole game, only had 30 attempts. So when you look at the lead, when you look at what was going on with your special teams core, run the football, utilize the clock. And then when you look at the red zone woes for San Francisco, they were 1 of 6 in the red zone. You know why? Because they abandoned the ground and pound game. No reason to do so, because it was working for you and it was utilizing clock. If you have a running back that is averaging over 6 yards per carry, you give him 2 opportunities, he's getting you a first down based on the numbers, based on analytics.
We've looked at this team, and we were sort of going position group by position group and asking ourselves upstairs in the green room, where did they get worse? And the defensive line, the run stopping seems to be an issue, and then the offensive line, there's some question marks there, but everywhere else, these position groupings seem to be the same, if not stronger than before, but it's not the championship scent you have coming off them in years past. 2 losses with a 10-plus point lead in the fourth quarter this season.
Think about that.
There have been 2 such losses outside of that building in the entire NFL. So the fact that they're not closing late in games tells you what about the makeup of this team, even though it's only changed just a little bit.
They get away from the running game. They get away from the running game. And we've seen this with Kyle Shanahan more so in Super Bowl opportunities. You know, most recently this past Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. You abandoned the ground and pound attack. And in today's matchup, I know you didn't have CMC, but Jordan Mason, yes, he had a costly fumble in the fourth quarter, but he's shown the ability to handle a significant workload. He has shown all of us that he can handle that. So give him the opportunities, especially in a game where Arizona in the interior defensively, they had no answer for your running game. And that's a significant stat you gave us. Squandering double-digit leads 2 times already this season in the fourth quarter for a championship caliber team with a lot of experience. You have to find a way to keep doing what is working for you. How many times, Joe, have I said on this desk with you what Dick LeBeau used to tell us all the time as defenders? Most offensive coordinators, play callers, they're what? Egocentric.
They're egocentric. They get cute.
They get cute. Like in this ball game where you don't have a kicker and you need to utilize the clock, you know what, Brock? We're going to do what has been working for us. We're going to run it first, second down, and if we get into a situation where we got to throw it, we can throw it. But how the quarterback that led the ball game, why does he have more passing attempts than the quarterback that was fighting from behind the entire ball game?
It was an interesting game script there in the second half. You say give Jordan Mason an opportunity. He, unfortunately, was the one who gave the opportunity for Arizona to drive down the field after that inexplicable fumble behind the line of scrimmage. Just get down. Just trying to do a little too much in that rep. But Mason, again, very effective in that run game. And
that happened in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
But leading up to that point, I felt like they shied away. They got away from the running game too fast for me.
Victories are earned in this league, and this was very much earned by the Arizona Cardinals, despite them being given the opportunity. Still had to drive down the field. This, to me, looks like a different Kyler Murray, and you could stack it up by the numbers however you like, but the competitive engagement, and I know that's a funny thing to say when we're talking about professional athletes, but there seems to be another gear there in terms of competitive desire for Kyler Murray. Do you see that the same way this season?
I think what we're seeing with Kyler Murray is growth. As a professional quarterback, being able to keep his emotions intact and be the ultimate leader they need him to be in critical times in a ball game. That's what we saw. We didn't see a guy get rattled. We didn't see a guy, get a bit antsy. He just took what the defense was giving him, and he made the significant plays. So that is a Kyler Murray that they need to rely on moving forward to be competitive and ultimately find a way to get into a playoff conversation. Because when you look at their division, the NFC West, it's wide open. When you talk about what we thought we would see in the NFC West, we're not necessarily seeing it.
I'm not seeing much.
Exactly. So for Arizona, this was a huge game because they were down the majority of this ball game. Like I said, they were down 23-10 on the road against San Francisco, and they found a way to win. They did not surrender 1 point in the second half. They outscored San Francisco 14-0 in the second half. Who would have thought? None of us. But because they executed, they were dialed in, and they took advantage of the opportunities that were presented by San Francisco, they walk out of Levi Stadium with a huge, huge win.
They certainly do. Let's take a look at the road ahead for San Francisco, because you get in that division and you're scratching your head, wondering who's who and what's what. Here is what's to come for the 49ers. You walk away with a loss here following that loss to the Rams 2 weeks ago. And those are your two games where you held fourth quarter leads of 10 points or more, and poof, gone. It ends in an L. So very conceivably, this could be a one-loss team in San Francisco, but not doing the little things.
Think about that.
Not doing the little things right now, and it's a short week, a quick turnaround, staying in division Thursday Night Football against the Seahawks team that just lost to the New York Football Giants. Then a meeting with the Chiefs and the Cowboys in primetime.